Okay, today is May 11th, and today I started a little bit early because I recently started too late, and it ends up that I I recently was doing so bad that I missed maybe three, I think three of them. So for the daily question, I guess LeetCode has a time travel ticket so that you can submit something that you missed. So I believe that I already used all three of them for this month, and today is only the 11th day of this month. So from now on, I have to like start off the streaming a little bit earlier to give myself a little bit caution to so that I won't miss any more questions again. Yeah. So now that's the plan. And today we have did I say that? Yeah. Today we have a medium question, which is number 1423. Maximum points you can obtain from cards, and I I rarely see, or maybe I didn't notice. I rarely see a problem their number is close to 1500 but got this many upvote. So I think this is probably a good questions, and you can see that I've done this before. So let us read the question together, and I will check if I remember how I solved this problem last time. Okay, so now let's start reading this question together. So maximum point you can obtain from cards. There are several cards arranged in a row, and each card has an associated number of points. The points are given in the integer array card points. Okay, so in one step, you can take one card from the beginning or from the end of the row. You have to take exactly k cards. Your score is the sum of the points of the cards you have taken. Given the integer array card points and the integer array k, return the maximum score you can obtain. Okay, so you have an array of cards, you have k's, and then in one step you take one of the card from the end or the beginning, and you have to do this k times. Okay, so it's like for the example one, the first card, after the first step, your score will always be 1. That's because you either take this or this, right? And then, however, choosing the rightmost card will maximize your total score. The optimal strategy is to take the 3 card on the right, giving a final score of 1 plus, okay, all the 3 from the right. So if you can take all the 3 from the right, you get 12 points. Okay, okay. And this you can take 2, so either way you got 4, right? And then this one you can take 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 7 is the entire array, so 55. You can take 1, then of course 1, right? You can take 3, then it's either these 3 or these 3. Okay, I remember this one. I think this was one of the contest, one of the question in the contest, in the weekly contest, I think. Um, and I'm surprised this has so many upvotes. And because I remember when I remember, and until still now I still feel it a little bit weird reading this. Like this sentence is not that clear. in one step you can take one card from the beginning or from the end of the row. You have to take exactly k cards. So I don't know, like one step take one card, but then you tell me to take k cards. So actually is that you have to do k step, and each step you take one card from either side of the array. And I remember I'm confused by this because if you check all the example, there are 5 example. All of the example, the result is composed by taking all the card from the same side, right? So 12 you take all the card from here, and 4 you just take all the card from here. 55 you take all the card from here, either right or left. 1 you take all the card from right or left. 202 you take all the card from the right hand side. So I remember while in the weekly contest I was so confused about this sentence, but now I remember. So it's actually like a two-way stack, or anyway you can only take the number from either side, and you need to maximize the result. So if I would give an example, I will probably use like 111, 111, and then you have for example 200 in here, and you have a 6 in here. And if k is 3, because originally I thought that maximum this is greedy, but you cannot do greedy, right? Because if you greedily take, for example, this is 2. If you greedily choose, so from both sides, for this example, if you greedily take the larger one is 2, and then you will take 6, and then you will take 2, and then you will end up with 10. But the maximum number is actually, okay, I think I want to say this is 200. Right, so for this example, the maximum it actually is 202. And then so you cannot do greedy. So I remember how to solve this, but let's check the hint first. So the hint is that the sum of all points be total points, and you need to remove the subarray from card point with the length n-1. Okay. Keep a window of size n-k over the array. The answer is the max size. Oh god. Okay. So the hint already give you the answer of the question. So it's actually a sliding window problem. But the way that, so it's that because you need to separate the entire array to 3 parts. So like you take some from the, let me see if I can draw. I can finally try to draw something, I think. So if you have an array, and then you take some from the right, you take some from the left. So these 2 parts will add up to max, right? And then that's telling us that this part is min. Okay, so let me see if I can erase this. Okay, all the way. Okay, so actually the answer, the solution is to have a sliding window, and then try to find the array the subarray in the middle which have the minimum value. Then subtract by the sum, subtract by that minimum value will get you the result. So that's the idea from the hint, but I I don't remember if I successfully solved this within the time range of the weekly contest. But I think my thought process is like, for those type of question, you can probably always do DFS, right? So for each recursive call, you choose one, take it, and then recursively call yourself and pass the rest of the array, right? So until you reach k times, then you return the maxima, return the value, and then keep the maxima. So for this type of question, you can always solve it by DFS or by recursion, right? But then you will think about, when you are doing recursion, you might calculate the same recursive call several times. Then you need a memo, right? So the question become a DFS plus memo, which tells you that it's a dynamic programming problem. And then it will be a top-down dynamic programming. And then if this is really a dynamic programming, then there should be a way to do bottom up. And for this one, it's really easy to do bottom up, right? So if you try to solve this by bottom up dynamic programming, and then you set your DP array to, for example, for this element, I remember what I thought was, for this element, the answer so the maximum value when this is the left hand side, the end of the left hand side is this, right? Is this plus 2 element from here, right? So originally you think about dynamic programming and to bottom up the dynamic programming, then you realize that when you are breaking down this recursive call, this element, this problem to a smaller problem, it's actually not many smaller problem, it's just one problem. So it's this, as if this is the end of the left hand side, then the right hand side you don't have multiple choice. You are left to only choose two, right? So when you are doing a dynamic programming from bottom up, you iterate through all those array and then find that if this is the left hand side solution, what's the right hand side? Then it becomes this. It becomes this hint, right? It becomes this hint, right? That you have a sliding window and then you are trying to find the minimum number in between or the maximum number from the outside. So I think that was my thought process during the weekly contest, but I don't remember if I really solved it. But now let's try to solve it, right? So based on this, we need to have a sliding window. So we probably will need to have an integer of the left and the right. Maybe I start with both 0, I think. And the goal is to slide the window of length k. Oh, then we probably don't need to start with k. We can just start with k, right? Because the window size is k. Oh no, the window size is n minus k. So let's have a n equals to the card points card point dot length, and then left will be 0 and right will be n minus k. So we need a current sum, right? So we need a integer cur equal to 0, sum equals to 0. And then I need a current sum, I need a total sum, right? Let's check the special case later, right? So for int I equals to 0, I smaller than n, I plus plus, and sum plus equals to like card points dot I, and then if so 0 to n minus k. So if I is smaller or equal than wait, the length is n minus k, so it should be n minus k minus 1, right? Right. Okay. So if I less or equals, then currently it's right. Cur plus or equal to this. Okay, so after this for loop, our cur is the sum of the array from left to right, and then this is the total sum. Sum is the total sum. So now we slide the window so that then I probably don't even need left, but let's make it better later. So we slide the window and then check the min, right? Because we need to make it sure that it's min. So and all the number is larger than 1, right? So my min could be 0. No, sum. No, I don't even have sum yet. Okay. So my min initially, no, my min is sum. I want the sum in here. So initially I have the min equal to sum, and then that's large. It should be cur. Why I'm using sum, right? So let's start sliding the window. So for something and right smaller than n, right plus plus. So now sorry, I'm just thinking right. My right want to start with this. So let me change it. Okay. So that's my start, the first one. So now our current sum will equals to cur plus, or that's minus first, minus the left is right card what? Card points. So it's actually right minus what's the length? M minus K, right? And plus card point right. So this is the sum of the window. So we move the right by 1, the window by 1 to the right. So we add the new value, which is the card point right, and then we deduct the left value, which is right minus this. Okay, and then our mean is equals to math.mean of mean or curve, and then return sum minus mean. So now let's check if we have special case or edge case. So the car length is this, but it's okay because we only traversed it linearly twice. And yeah, or I might be able to squeeze the sum in here, right? But do I want to do that? No, I think I'm fine. Yeah. Okay. Then the car point, so each number is between 1 to 10 to the 4, so we won't overflow. We won't have, yeah, we won't have any negative number. And k is between the lengths. So you won't have something is larger than this. So you don't need to check if k is larger than the car point's length, right? So we probably don't need to check special cases, but I mean, to not make it, so let's check the car first. So 12, okay, so let's check this in here. Okay, okay, so that's the solution. So before I submit it, I think I probably don't need to go through this entire thing, right? So I probably can make this, and then so that I can do both, and then I will do this in here anyways. And then I don't need the left, and I have the end. Is this still correct? Okay, so I mean, I know the code is not pretty. I know most people will be able to write this in 1 for loop, but for me it's just easier for me to like think and check if there's any error with 2 for. So I first increment this to right and then start again to this, and then I probably can make it looks better if I use, do I need to continue to modify my code? I am afraid. I think that's the same. I'm just making it like more consistent. Oh, okay, I think we are good to submit, right? I can't think of any edge cases that we need to test. Do we test, do we want to test one element? Like 1 and 1 should work, right? Yeah, so I think we are good. For now, we are good to submit, so let's try it. Okay, good. So the time complexity is linear, right? And then the space is still linear. I mean constant because I didn't use any array or anything. So yeah, I think that's it. But let's see how many how many different kind of solution we have. Yeah. So yeah, dynamic programming. But how do you do dynamic programming though? I'm curious. Front set of cards, rear set of cards, and for the front set of cards, it's a current prior card points plus prior solution plus this, and then for this it's prior solution plus this right set of cards. Okay, so when using dynamic programming, they actually separate to two DP. One is the front set, another one is the rear set. And then the front set is easier to understand. The rear set index is reverse. That's why it's a little bit hard to understand. So it actually put the rear set reversely, I think. And then after you got a number of both front set and rear set, you traverse through and find the right traverse through every kind of combination and then find the maximum number. Yeah, that's reasonable. That's reasonable. And then you can, of course, optimize the space. Again, wow, okay. Take I from the beginning and then oh, okay. So when you optimize the dynamic programming, it's already almost like our sliding window solution. So the front, so instead of doing a front DP and the rear DP, actually they reduce it to one variable. So and then it start with K, I think. So it start with all the K select from the front and then all the way reduce. So they reduce one from the front and then add one to from the rear. Yeah, but this DP is already almost like our solution, which is the third one, sliding window, right? Yeah, but somehow, and that's our sliding window solution. Yeah, you get a sum, and then you set the minimums to the sum, and then if, oh yeah, you can do the early return. If they are the same, you just return it. Otherwise, this is basically our sliding window. Yeah. And then you return the minimum. Yeah. So anyways, I think, yeah, like I said, I start by having this idea and then realize it's probably easier to think it reversed way. Yeah. But I think I probably didn't make it on time because I was thinking too much during the weekly contest. I probably didn't make it on time and submit the so but yeah, but in the end it turns out that the idea for this question is really easy. It's just a sliding window, not even the DP. Okay, glad that I can submit, and I already submit the daily question today. And then I actually, so yeah, so actually that's it for today's daily question. And then if you are interested in the SQL question, I'm going to do one SQL question now. And yeah, so thank you for watching. I will start doing the SQL.